Tonight's Gooder Entertainment production is brought to you by The Chopping Block, Menotti Woodcrafters, Pinkerton's Pit Barbecue, Texas Oil Gods, JB Water Wells, All Fired Up Barbecue Cook-Off, Texas Original Charcoal, the Brisket Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads, Smokin Magic, Texas High Roller Events, Laredo Roofing Solutions, Navy SEAL Danny Dietz Memorial Classic, Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation, The Barbecue Store, Mr. Keen Sharpening Service, Cosmos Cube Products, Half-Fast Cookers, Damn Yankee Texas Barbecue, Rectag, Quattro D Drums, We Branded Promotions, Texas Barbecue Bash, and Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics. Thank you for supporting the So Smokin Gooder Show.
You're tuning in the So Smokin Gooder Show. There's a lot of gooder. There's a lot of things that are gooder. They're better. They're gooder. I say they're gooder. They're the most goodest show that there could be. The So Smokin Gooder. Wow, what a good! Has there been a gooder show? I don't know if there's ever been a gooder show than the So Smokin Gooder Show. Wow, what a show! Iran's not having a show like So Smokin Gooder Show. What a beautiful show! There's never been high definition like this going on in there. What a great show!
Hey, we got any more beer in here?
Hey there, everybody. This is Aaron, the Retro Guy, host of the Morning Roast Radio Show, and you're locked in to the So Smokin Gooder Show. Give it to them, fellas.
If you're gonna put it in the box, put it in the box.
And stamp it.
Hey, what's up? I'm Cosmo, and you're watching the So Smokin Gooder Show. So grab a drink, park your ass, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss a thing.
Hey, this is Josh Hill, Sure Shot Barbecue, and you're watching the So Smokin Gooder Show, the Corn Dog King.
This kid folk with canned heat, barbecue. We're going to the So Smokin Gooder Show. Let's all drop in.
3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Brad.
And I'm Bree, and we're Smokin Magic.
And you're watching the So Smokin Gooder Show. Let's go.
Oh,
yeah. Sit back, relax, and feel the fury on the So Smokin Gooder Show.
On your marks, get ready, let's go. Are you guys ready for the So Smokin Gooder Show? Pull up a chair and grab yourself a brew. Let's get together with the Gooder crew. Rob and Ty are your gangsta guys with a special guest or two. Where we talk comms, brews, and barbecue. So before we start, are you ready or not? So Smokin Gooder Show. So Smokin Gooder Show. Are you ready or not? Barbecue topics that are hot, hot, hot. So Smokin Gooder Show. So Smokin Gooder Show. Pull up a chair and stay a while. Gooder crew, that's the style.
Yes, good evening, Gooder Gang, and welcome to the So Smokin Gooder Show. I am your host, Rob Rocha, coming to you from the Bullhorn Barbecue headquarters here in Cypress, Texas. Damn glad you are checking us out. However, you are checking us out. Some of you are on YouTube, some are on Facebook, and we are going to be all over tonight. We're going to have a wonderful, interesting cat on the show tonight. I had the pleasure of meeting this man, and we're going to bring him to you. But we're talking about Bill Dumas, the Sausage Sensei. He'll be on shortly. So this past weekend, I want to tell y'all about what I have going on, just because I had to apologize. Last Wednesday, we did not do a show on Wednesday night. I was getting my son prepared to go to college. So big deal in the Rocha household. My son, Evan, is going to Texas State University. Thank you, Ty. Going to Texas State University. He actually started his first day today. I called him earlier before his classes. I haven't talked to him to figure out ahead, but I'm sure he's going to do just fine. I'm excited for the young man. And rough week, that middle day, leaving him on his own. First time that the baby has left the nest, and so it was a rough one for us, but we got through it. And I know a lot of families are going through that right now. So very cool, all good. And then we traveled over to El Campo for the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation cook-off. What a wonderful event. It is one of my favorite events of the year, just because everything involved. The Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation, we all know they benefit veterans, and we love veterans on this show. Ty is a veteran. We have friends that have actually gone through that program, so it is special. Cassie and Joey Smith, Johnny Dunn, Patty Dunn, I saw Clint out there, Josh was there, the whole crew for the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. They go out of their way to make sure everybody's settled in and doing it, and then just what they bring to the table as far as an award ceremony and just the event. It was top notch. Shout out to Steven and his crew over at El Campo Los Lagoon. It was just a wonderful weekend. As for Bullhorn, we got to hear our name. I don't know if y'all like those recaps that I've been posting. If you don't like them, just scroll. But I'm going to continue doing them as long as I do cook-offs, because, why not just share the good, bad, and the ugly? I know not all of them are going to be getting a call. So we'll see how that goes when it happens. But you know how barbecue is. You got to cook good and get lucky. This weekend, we did get lucky, and we did cook good. We got to hear our name twice over at Team Bullhorn. We got a big call. The chicken is still chickening for Bullhorn Barbecue, and we got this guy right here. That's another thing with the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. Look at these trophies, ladies and gentlemen. Man, let me look at that trophy. That is a gorgeous, tall-ass trophy that they do at the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. Trophies are, those are pretty cool, right? And of course, we got the Danny Deets coming up, some unique trophies. The All Fired Up Cook-Off Team benefit, they reached out to us, and I'm going to pose this question to the Gooder Gang because I know they're watching, and I didn't tell them I was going to do this, but they were asking, what entices cookers to go and travel, spend their money, go out there and kind of gamble on themselves. Is what we do, is legalize gambling. We're gambling on ourselves. What entices cookers to go out there and spend their own money and do that? So why don't y'all put that? I'm not going to say what I do, maybe later, because I don't want to, influence anybody as far as their answers. But what entices you to go to a cook-off? What makes it, what are the reasons that you go? Maybe put your top 3 or top 4 out there and put them in the comments, and we'll go over them together here in just a minute. But I do want to share one last thing. Look, you get a little tour here of the deal. This right here is another thing that I love about that cook-off. Look at that. Oh, hang on. Let me get in the camera. Look at that beautiful buckle with those colors. Their logo is in the center. Barbecue heels, yes. And again, chicken is still chickening. First place chicken for Bullhorn. So that was a good weekend. We were 8th overall. Shout out to Smokin and Toastin' Cesar Mejia with a big first place grand champion, in the RGC was Phil Breeden from LC Barbecue. Eddie Morales had a first place rib, I'm pretty certain. It was just a great weekend out there. So lots to be had. So if you were out there, it was a good time, right? It was got a lot of good stuff. All right. Ty, get in here before we get to our guest of the evening. How are you, brother?
Yeah, good, doing well. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to have this gentleman on. It seems like it's going to be a fun talk, and I really appreciate the injection of what barbecue has done for me as veterans. I've done the Texas Chrome Heroes program. You know, I've been mentored by the promoter and had teams sponsored at the Danny Dietz to do this. And what this has done for the veteran community has been amazing. So anytime you can further that, Texas Chrome Heroes, the Danny Dietz, these are big cook-offs to me. The Danny Dietz, of course, because it's KCBS. We need more of that here for the different specificity of heat sources, of meat you're cooking, time frames. That makes it, and then different cooking on, like, I love those people that fly, you know, they're cooking on different stuff. This guy's come with a different story. He's the Sausage Sensei, man. So, like, that's all we do is learn. And that's the draw, at least for me, to this show is like, man, barbecue makes you use part of your brain.
We did get Bill in the green room. We'll have Bill on in just a second. But no, you're good. I just wanted, you were talking about the Danny Dietz, and I want to bring that up because it's coming up in about 3 weeks, September 11th and 12th weekend, the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic out at Jellystone Park in Waller, Texas. Speaking of which, Jen Lee is going to be on with us next week, Ty. So Jen will be on with us next week. We're going to be talking all about the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic. I see you got him up there. We're going to be talking all about the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic and everything about it. So you're going to learn all about what you can expect out there. It is a world championship this year. They do have the paddles. Unique contests are great. Unique awards are great. We're going to do that as well. The video is throwing me off, Ty. We're gonna have Jen on next week talking about the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic. And then some big events, you know, here once summer ends, you know, the schedule is light, as you can see. We'll talk about the upcoming events, but the summer schedule is light because it's hot outside, ladies and gentlemen. It is super hot down here in Texas. And so the schedule gets a little thin, but then it opens wide open in the fall with some big time events and some big time contests, including the American Royal and the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic. There's a $100,000 contest out there somewhere in Midland. Lots going on in the barbecue world. All right. I had the pleasure, we're going to talk about our guest tonight, Mr. Bill Dumas, the Sausage Sensei. I had the pleasure of meeting him in June. I was hosting the World Food Championships event in Austin, Texas. Shout out to the World Food Championships. I got an announcement later in the show about that as well. But I had the pleasure of meeting Bill out there. He was out there doing his thing with the public out there at the World Food Championships event in Austin. What an interesting gentleman. I've known about Bill for a few years. I've never had the pleasure of meeting him, but I'm glad I did. I got to have dinner with him that night in that big group, got to sit across from him and talk barbecue. What an interesting man you guys are about to meet. He is the Sausage Sensei. Tonight, he can make anything out of sausage. He can deconstruct a meal, put it back together in the casing of a hog, and smoke it and make it into this wonderful, wonderful sausage link. He is a former Marine, Ty. He's a trucker. He has also booked music here in Texas. He treats sausage like a science. I'm so excited to get to talk to him and get to introduce him to the Gooder Gang. We're talking about Bill Dumas. Ty, bring him on. Thank you very much, Bill, for being on the show. How are you, my man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. We had to do a little bit of a hustle. I'm up here in Great Falls, Montana, with my good buddy
Jeff Carlisle.
Yep.
Hey, Jeff, how are you, bud?
Marvelous.
How are you? All right. I'm good. Great. Thanks for getting him in on time. I know he was thinking that he had an hour left because he was in, mountain time, but no, we do the show Central Time, Bill.
Well, man, yeah. I'm up here in Montana. We're doing some crazy cool things up here, man. Jeff brought me up here with Carrie over here too, who's kind of,
Hey.
So, yeah, man. So I'm up here in the Big Sky country, dude.
Awesome. I don't want you to hold your phone the whole time. Is that what you're doing? Can you turn it sideways, by the way, as well? Is that possible? Boom. There we go. There we go.
Does that work?
Much better.
All right.
Yeah, you're able to get it situated so we can chat with you for a while now.
Well, I don't know how good you can see me. We were just kind of having this discussion earlier. I'm technologically challenged, very much
Really?
so. Oh, absolutely. I don't do technology, man. This is not my forte. So I have a team of folks that kind of back me up and support me, like Spencer Whelan and Todd and those guys that are in my group. I graduated high school in 1986. So, we were having this conversation this morning over coffee, how everything from the Star Trek generation with Captain Kirk is finally coming into fruition, except I'm not missing out with a green alien and I can't teleport.
Not yet. We got AI. You'll be making out. No, you're not going to be making out with anything, but there's some AI stuff. That's scary, Bill. That is scary stuff.
Yeah, man. It totally is, dude. But here we are, brother.
Here we are. Welcome to the show, my man. Please introduce yourself to the Gooder Gang. I kind of gave a brief little rundown of you, but you do yourself a lot better than I can. So please introduce yourself, because there's a lot of people that you've helped that are in the comments tonight. I saw one, Serge has already made a comment over there that you helped develop his sausage that he turned in at the Royal that I got to taste. It was really good, by the way. But that wasn't that was your guidance. But please introduce yourself to the gang, my man.
Yeah, well, my name is Bill Dumas, otherwise known as professionally as the Sausage Sensei, and I don't even know where to start. But immediately speaking, I travel, I consult, I teach, I innovate all things in the wiener spectrum.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I also, I have a storied restaurant background as well. I don't even know where to start. I have a background beginning with the production of commercially graded sausages from the USDA side at Smoky Denmark Smoked Meats for about, a couple years before that brought me to Style Switch Barbecue up on North Lamar and Austin, Texas for about 4 years. We were Texas Monthly top 50 rated during my tenure, which is great. Lance Kirkpatrick, Catherine Stiles, Shane Stiles run a great operation. But I was there for about 4 years. And then from there, I went to go work with my brother from another mother, John Brotherton. God rest his soul, passed away. Yes, sure. Brotherton's Black Iron Barbecue for about 4 years, wherein I developed the sausage program for both of John's restaurants that he was operating at the time. Liberty Barbecue in Round Rock, Texas, as well as Brotherton's Black Iron Barbecue in Pflugerville, Texas. We got Texas Monkey Top 50 recognized during my tenure with John. And but I started there in 2020, so that means COVID. Hello, yeah. COVID. Remembers that time. So
good times.
In developing the program, sausage program with John, I always wanted to poke holes and innovate what sausage is and could be, while at the same time preserving the historical aspect of what sausage is in relation to the meat market tradition of Central Texas. And so teaching sausage classes and traveling and doing things kind of crazy in the wiener world was really picked up steam with John Brotherton, I'll say.
That's great. We're gonna get into all of that. I don't know if you're holding your phone. I'm gonna pull you down just a little bit. I don't know if you can like prop it up so I can see your eye level. I feel like I'm looking up at you, my man. I'm gonna do a shout out to the Gooder Gang real quick. So you got about 2 to 3 minutes or so just to see if you can figure that out. And Ty's gonna drop you down, and then I'm gonna give some shout outs, and I'll come right back because this is gonna be a fun interview. I can tell already. I'm excited about it. All right, Ty can play some music, and then I'm gonna give some introductions to the Gooder Gang. I was kind of delaying that because I know he got in late because he thought he was on Mountain Time. First is Good evening, all. I hope everyone's doing well. And right behind you, with the super chat, and you didn't have to do this, Jimmy Edmondson. Howdy, Gooder Gang. Anybody know what time it is? It's time for a new travel trailer. I'm glad he's able to be with us. I'm glad both of y'all are able to be with us. I don't know if y'all saw, but Mr. Keen, Jimmy and Teresa Edmondson, their travel trailer, I woke up to a picture of it the other day, just burned to the ground. It was, we still don't know what exactly happened, but that sucker is gone, and thank goodness that they were not in it, and thank goodness that they are alive and safe. We love you guys, and I hope this isn't going to set y'all back. New travel trailers are they're fun, so get it squared away. But thanks for the super chat, Jimmy. You didn't have to do that, but I'm glad that you guys are here watching the show. All right, Larry Vaughn. Chat. Thank you, Jimmy. Larry Vaughn checking in afternoon from South Jersey, headed north with another load of monkey pickles. Okay, good. Randall Johnson, Ocala Q, had a big weekend in New Mexico, the reserve grand champion out there. Matt Casper, Rapstick Barbecue. Good evening, everyone. Jared McCrory, burning lids to drums. Jared, the Barefoot Cookers. There's Jen Lee. She's going to, like I mentioned, guys, she's going to be with us next week talking all about the big Danny Dietz Memorial Classic coming up. Pit Life Barbecue podcast celebrating, was it 10 years, my man? 9 years? I can't remember. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Lance Bracco, what's up? Thank you for your congratulations. Good to see you as well. Steve Lozano, what's up? Uwe Braun, I hope you are getting on the mend, my man. I hope you're getting on the mend. There's Braden. Yo, boys. What's up, Braden? How are you? There's Serge. What's up, Ty and Rob? What is going on? Morgan Beasley. What's up, Morgan? Hey. Carlos Calzada. Got to see Carlos looking good, looking slim. Shaved his beard for the most part. Looking good, my man. Rob's recap. Yeah, we'll do that. King. Nice. Fidencio. What's up, man? How are you, bro? I hadn't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Who else we got here? Lupe Lomos. What's going on? Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Bullfrogs. I got to see Bullfrogs out there. There he is right there. There's the GC. The man had 4 walks out there, ladies and gentlemen. He was on fire the whole weekend and did a huge belly flop. I don't know if Ty can find that. We'll show that later. Caesar, send that to Ty. We'll get that on the show as well. There's Colin McElrath with Texas Barbecue Bash. That's another big event coming up here in October. Like I said, it opens wide open here in the fall with all of these events up here. We got Lit Up Barbecue. What is up, my man? How are you? Happy birthday, Toasty. That's right. It is the birthday for Toasty. Caesar Mia, happy birthday, my man. There's Serge. Bill helped me develop that sausage that Rob turned in at the Royal last year. Yes, Bill. It was great. It was great. There's Arturo Gonzalez, our man Art, the main man, the media maestro. There is. There's Willie T's in the house. The Bill Meister, lucky enough to have helped my brother from another mother at many events all over the world. All right, well, Smoking Willie T's in the house. You know we're in for a good one. Aaron Leslie, what's up, bitches? He loves to show off his wieners. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Cody Allenbar, what's up, my man? How are you? Rachel Targach, I got to see Rachel and Spencer and the family out there. She killed it out there, 12th overall. Great job. Lance Meeks in the house. What's up, gang? Who else? Danny's Memorial. That's coming up this weekend in Needville. I'll be out there. Hopefully you guys, if y'all are out there, come say hi. I won't be out there till late. I won't be out there till about 8 o'clock. Got to work all day Friday. Yeah, I know. Got to work for the man. Sue Vincent's. Good evening, Gooder Gang. There he is. 8 years. Thank you. There he is right there. Belle Clark's in the house. What's up, Belle? How are you? Seth Hendrickson. Got to see him. Not going to lie. I'm a little sad you didn't reply back when I messaged you on Facebook. Really? I thought I did. My bad. I will. James Minotti. That was a big call. 3rd place chicken for James. And sweet Samantha Cherry. What is up? Samantha, did you have a new Facebook page? I'm always wary of a double Facebook page. Is that you? Let me know. All right. That was the Gooder Gang shout outs. And the man is eye level. Again, we're visiting with the Sausage Sensei. He did send a video. Not only his, he did mention he's technical. What are you drinking there? What is that?
That's hams, baby, for the land of the sky blue waters.
All I don't want to like ruin things, but is there a way to put it sideways again? Is that possible?
Well, I can try, but it went sideways before.
If it doesn't work, we'll go back there.
Howdy, friends. Bill Dumas, otherwise known as the Sausage Sensei, coming to you live from Great Falls, Montana. But that's not where I'm going to be tonight, where I will be magically teleported back to Texas. I will be appearing on the So Smokin' Gooder Show tonight, 8 p.m., August 19th. So mark your calendars, folks. So Smokin' Gooder Show tonight, August 19th, 8 p.m. Follow the link.
All right. Yeah, we did share that earlier today on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for doing that. I know that your team, your man, contacted us because you just mentioned your technologically challenged.
Yeah. Yeah. Mongo only pawn in Game of Life.
I tell you what, though, for being technologically challenged, your videos on YouTube, and I know that's probably your team behind it, but my goodness, you've got 3. Go check out his YouTube channel. It is the Sausage Sensei. All right, gotcha, Samantha. It is the Sausage Sensei. But you got 3 wonderful, highly entertaining videos out there, and very, you can learn quite a bit out there. Some of the stuff, especially that peach cobbler video, that was a lot of fun.
Man.
We're talking sausage tonight. We're talking wieners, brother, and I love it. We're going to be talking all about it right now. How did you get? I know you just talked about your barbecue background, but I mentioned earlier you're a Marine. You were a truck driver. You used to book music. Before we get into the sausage, talk about that forward life prior to the barbecue world, my man.
Oh man, I don't even know where to begin. When you get to, suffice it to say, when you get to be about my age, which is 58 years old, and there are other people in the room with me who could challenge me, but suffice it to say that when you get to be a certain age, that life has a tendency to wear upon you. And the whole while that you're going through life's trials and tribulations, the goal is always to try to find yourself and to thine own self be true. So that's me 100%. But no matter what other kind of BS job I've worked in the past, nothing has ever spoken to me like that of the barbecue universe, and specifically within the wiener world.
Nice. What anything that you did in the past, were you already doing or dabbling into this thing and just kind of put it on the back burner, or was this something you learned later?
Well, everybody dabbles in wieners from time to time. Nonetheless,
I don't know about that.
I hope you know that when you're talking to me, it's full of jokes and innuendo, which carries the message forward. And if anybody out there has ever worked with John Brotherton, my prior partner in all of this, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. John was selfless. He was gracious. He was talented. But man, that dude was full of innuendo and selfless humor. So it carries forward into me, my friend.
Please
so I apologize for that in advance.
Please keep them coming all night. I'm 54 now. 54, but I still have the humor of a teenager. So let's do it all night long. Let's go.
Absolutely. But no, 100%. I've just to kind of pair it all down. I've been in the barbecue universe for a number of years on both sides of the fence, as I illustrated prior. On the commercial side, within a USDA inspected facility, as well as on the restaurant side, and in various degrees. And then that carries itself forward into what we're doing currently, as you kind of brushed upon with our YouTube channel and the collaborations and the classes and so on and so forth. But the thing about it is, it's always rooted within the state of Texas, and always rooted and celebrated within the context of the Bavarian and Bohemian meat market tradition of Central Texas. But while that's being said, poking holes and reinterpreting that. So I envision, the way I see it, food is art, and therefore sausage is art because that's what I do. And the purpose of art is to make you stop, consider, and perhaps challenge you. So that's kind of what I do.
You do it, and you do it well, especially your teaching. I know you're teaching not only you've been I don't know how many years you've been doing it, but you now teach all over the world. You mentioned you started in the Texas scene, but hell, you're doing it right now, right? That's what you're doing up there, or are you having a little vacation up there?
Well, you know what? It's actually a little bit of both, actually. Jeff over here, we've been talking for a number of years. He has a deep Montana background. I do as well. My family goes back to Montana within what's known as Cascade County now, dating back to about 1900 or so. So I have deep roots. Jeff has deep roots. Everybody in this room that's listening to me has deep roots within this area. And Jeff and I started talking, oh gosh, a little over a year ago. He has an interest in all of this kind of stuff as well. So off we go. And I came up here to re-examine and explore my family's roots in Sand Coulee, Montana, and Great Falls, Montana. And yeah, we're going to have some fun, and we're going to make some sausages up here. A Montana huckleberry sausage, a Montana rhubarb and blue cheese sausage, a Sand Coulee miner sausage, which goes back to the pasties that were eaten by the miners of Centerville, Stockton, that whole area. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I may be going off on a tangent.
No, I love it. I love it. And I love the fact that I love hearing stories of people that have taken this sport of barbecue or this, this love of barbecue and turned it into something personal for themselves and are able to like travel and do something, a different avenue with just, we're a lot of the guys that are watching our backyarders or competition barbecue guys. And a lot of us, like Serge here, is venturing into the food truck or the food, restaurant business, learning. Yeah. I got Aaron Leslie's in the house right now. I don't know if you know Aaron. I think you do.
Yeah.
He's a sausage guy too. So,
well, hold on a minute now. Hold on a second now. So Aaron Leslie, he came to the shop over at Brotherton's Black Iron Barbecue some odd years ago and worked with us for about a week over there. And I'll never forget this to the day I die. When we were working at the sausages and making the sausages, side by side over at Brotherton's, in walks Carrie Bexley with Tootsie. And Aaron will tell you about this. So it was a really incredible moment because John Brotherton walks in the sausage production room with Carrie and Tootsie, and Aaron Leslie and I are making sausages, for the restaurant. And Tootsie comes in there and starts asking us questions about why I'm doing this or that in production manner. And then she starts telling stories of herself from the early to mid 1960s of herself and her husband making sausage at Giddings City Market.
Wow.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's the most incredible thing. And I came across that picture just the other day of Tootsie on the prep table with sausage in her hands, and there's Aaron and there's myself. And we're just all in there getting in the mix of it. But man, I'll tell you what, when Tootsie started talking, I just shut the hell up and I listened to her. That is a lady of experience.
Right. If you can find that picture, I know not right now, but later, I'll post it on the show, referencing back to this show on that, because that sounds like an interesting shot with y'all three in it doing that. So the sausage making, I know you've learned it through the years of doing this in restaurants and where your upbringing here. But when did this become like your thing? Like this is what I want to do. I want to deconstruct different things. And I'm sure it started with, making traditional sausage. You tell me. But I love the fact, I love seeing your videos now. I know there's only 3 out there, but I know you've been doing this and you've been talking about it because I've known it. Like I said, I've known about you and the people that you have helped learn of this thing, like Aaron and Serge and Willie T. But when did this become like, man, this This is what I want to do. I want to be known for this, or I want to do this. And when did that take off for you?
It's a really good question. For me, I'm a history buff. I love history because I reckon you do not know where you're going to end up if you don't know where you came from. And I'm going to say something really controversial right now, and that is that barbecue is sausage. It is. When we're talking about it from the framework of what we know as market-style barbecue derived in Central Texas from the meat markets, Bavarian and Bohemian inspired. So barbecue is sausage, but sausage is not barbecue. Aha. What does that mean? That means simply, if we reverse engineer it, sausage is an applied food science that relies heavily on specific weighted measurements of proteins, fats, and ingredients, and is temperature sensitive. Aha. But as it relates to barbecue, you have to think about this. Who helped settle Central Texas? Well, if I transport myself back to Austin and I look at a map and I just draw a circle around, the map and do a 360, and I see the towns like Davina, Praha, Velder, Vied, Flatonia, I can clearly see that the folks that helped settle these areas were brought over by beginning in Spain to Mexico to the Republic of Texas to the United States. All governing entities brought people over from Bavaria and Bohemia, but the biggest push happened in between 1848 to 1851. What did these people bring with them? They brought with them excellent animal husbandry skills, excellent butchery skills, and for my case, excellent verse making skills. But what you could do in the old world, meaning make and produce fresh meats and sausages such as verse, you cannot do in the new world, i.e. Texas, because of the heat, because of the climate, because of the humidity, because of the different ingredients. So a lot of the fresh meat markets, we sell the meats fresh, whole to the customer. They transitioned away and went backwards towards smoking the meats as a manner of preservation and to make a buck towards the customer. But the sausage was the central part of that whole equation because sausage is the vehicle of economy. All the fiddly bits and all the bits and pieces, which are scrap and offal, have to go into that sausage in which to preserve it and pay it forward and make a buck. Some really good examples would have been Krause's Meat Market in LaGrange, Texas, established just prior to 1900, closed in 2016, which was a microcosm and a perfect example of what we know as Central Texas market style barbecue. What do I mean by market style? What I mean by market style is what you see worldwide of meats being cooked, smoked, cut by the pound, served on butcher paper, and out to the customer came from these meat markets. And I've heard Wayne Miller, Louis Miller Barbecue talk about this a ton, but it's all derived from that tradition. But if we know that sausage in of itself is one of the oldest food types on this planet, third stone from the sun, and that's archaeologically proven, and it holds traditions in Central Texas, then we can begin to understand that not only is it a vehicle of economy, but it is of importance into cultural food history relationship to barbecue. Because you also have to remember that brisket was not on anybody's plate. No, it was not until the mechanization and the industrialization of agricultural practices post-World War II, i.e. boxed beef. Prior to that, it would have been shoulder claw, navel plate, etc. But sausage is the linchpin. Everybody's talking about brisket, on a barbecue menu, but that you have to understand that it's a modern day context. It is. It doesn't harken back to the cultural food traditions of these meat markets or of our traditions as the whole of the state of Texas and beyond currently. You have to have these conversations about sausage. And I reckon that sausage is the next quote unquote barbecue meat. It has to have its spotlight in the sun.
I like that. I mean, you just spit out a lot of information there, but it was all interesting. My goodness. Are you able to recreate some of those old sausage techniques? Have you ever thought about doing something like that? Or I know you're deconstructing meals and stuffing them in there, but the way they used to do it, have you ever done anything like that? And what would that look like now?
Oh, 100%. John Bates, perhaps you've heard John Bates. I've heard of John Bates before. It's a really dear friend of mine. John is the owner-operator of Interstellar Barbecue in North Texas. So John's a really dear friend of mine and an excellent chef in of himself. And we had a conversation about this just yesterday. John and I did. And we had a phone conversation about this, about what we consider to be Central Texas, quote unquote, hot gut. And so what that means is, because sausage is the vehicle of the economy, wherein you're using all the bits and scraps, not the whole primal cuts. No one's going to make a sausage out of a Wagyu strip loin. Let's be real. But what you are going to make sausage of is the hearts, the tongue root trim, the shoulder clod, the navel plate. You're beginning to see it, offcuts. So because Texas is a beef forward state, not like that of the Southeast, Georgia, Tennessee, pork. Here we are in cattle country. So if you're trying to make a buck and try to use every bit and scrap of the carcass, which is important to be economically viable, you're probably going to use a lot of those offcuts. So traditionally, a quote unquote Central Texas hot gut would comprise itself of a 100% beef-based sausage of offcuts, i.e. tongue, root, hearts, offcuts. So that's going to give you that big, bold beef minerally punch that you're looking for. It's going to have a higher percentage of fat concentration, so like that of a 60-40 ratio. And then it's going to be really simply seasoned, i.e. salt, the floral punch of black pepper. To quote Wayne Miller of Louis Miller Barbecue and Taylor, the black pepper is the 9th food group. I agree to that, 9-1, baby. So it's going to have the black pepper and enough garlic to kill a vampire, as well as a heavy concentration of cayenne pepper. Therein, you have the beef hot gut. And in Central Texas, there are several different variants of that. Southside Market popularized the term hot gut. Southside Market established 1885, but they popularized the name of hot gut, but there are several different variants of that, of the same ilk, i.e. at Bensel Mayor's, Taylor Cafe, Louis Miller Barbecue, Prousy's Meat Market, Giddings Market, but it's all within that same genre.
Nice. Well, how's it taste? All that other stuff.
Well, you tell me. You got to have that punch. I ask you this. What is your favorite sausage? Who makes your favorite sausage? And I'm going to put it to you in this way. Who makes your favorite old school sausage?
Well, I guess the old school stuff is what you were just kind of talking about, but I'll tell you what, Aaron Leslie has, and I now that I know that he's gone, he's maybe a protege of yours as far as the sausage making. He made me some. I love a cheesy jalapeno sausage nowadays. That's, to me, that is Texas. To me, Texas barbecue, a cheesy jalapeno sausage link, where the cheese is just oohing out of there. It's got to have. I don't know what the ratio is, but there's got to be a lot of cheese in it for me. And Aaron has given me some of his jalapeno cheese sausage. It's so good, and it does what I want it to do. The cheese oozes out of there. As far as traditional, like, are you talking about just a smoked traditional sausage?
Man, we're talking just as I described. True blue, 100% beef, simple. And here's the thing about it. When we're talking about, let's just say you're talking about a classically trained chef. Have you ever noticed that, let's just say, James Beard or Michelin normally recognizes those things that are simple in nature I have, and it doesn't matter what type of food that they're awarding. The point I'm trying to make is the more simple the ingredients are, and the more simple the application of ingredients are versus process, means that you have less to hide behind, which means that the devil is actually in the details. So the more simple the product is, the more noteworthy it is.
Yeah. Difficult to make it special.
Difficult to make it, keyword, consistent. Consistent.
Nice. Well, let's talk about deconstruction of a sausage, or what makes a good sausage. You know, I know you hear the different ratios as far as, you know, what goes into it. But you know, are there more? Is it hog casings only? I know it's not, but what are the different kinds of sausages out there with, just to start with, you know, the vessel? Because
oh man, that's a whole big thing. But you have to understand that sausage is, and it's archaeologically proven. It's archaeologically proven to be the oldest food type on this planet, third son from the sun. Bread is archaeologically proven, and it's archaeologically proven, but there are examples of sausage in Mesopotamia, in the ruins, 5000 BCE. There's a type of sausage described in Homer's Odyssey, the Greek poet and author.
Yeah.
There is sausage within the ruins of Pompeii. That just goes to tell you how ancient sausage is, because it's the vehicle of economy. But that being said, I think it's the most inspirational type of cuisine, and I may be biased, because once you understand what sausage is, has an applied food science, and again, it is an applied food science, which is on the same spectrum as that of artisanal baking, that if you understand how to manipulate the proteins and the fats and the salts and the temperature, then you can think of any composed dish. It doesn't matter what it is. And those ingredients of that composed dish, explode them and put them back together in a tube with all the visual and the textural elements. So, and that's what actually inspires me, because again, I see sausage as art. So what I want to do is, and then the reason why I'm kind of going to go over this and ad nauseum, and I'm just kind of displaying all the historical aspects, is you have to understand once again where you came from in order to reinvent the box going in this direction. Salvador Dali, the artist himself, said that an exceptional artist must be able to take the most mundane objects and create something truly exceptional. And that's what we want to try to do. We want to try to marry together everything that it is historically, and then reinvent it and start breaking rules. That's what we want to do. And we want to start poking holes in it. And Keith's cobbler sausage, Brazilian feijoada sausage, Montana huckleberry sausage, et cetera, et cetera. That's where it is. And for me, it's inspirational.
Yeah. So that we've all heard, 70-30, 80-20, whatever the ratio is. So what you kind of mentioned, you talking about taking the science from it. So are you taking like different ingredients and kind of noticing what their fat content is and kind of taking that away from the, okay, well, he's shaking his head already, but no. The science the factor of that, to make, you just mentioned, make something that just takes all these different ingredients and make it pop and just make it explode. No. It seems like, go ahead.
No, the way that it works is the trifecta of what sausage is protein, fat, and salt, with the ancillary of temperature. You put those together, and that creates a root base. That's your box. The proteins, the fats, and the salts are your root base. What you apply to that root base, primary and secondary ingredients, dictates the flavor profile and the visual and textural outcome based upon what you're trying to make. Does that make sense? So in other words, for any hot rodders, do we have any hot rodders in the shop in-house today? So if we if we have an engine block, let's just say a 400 small block Chevrolet, that's your base. That block of that engine is your base. It's a 400 small block. Well, no, it's a 350 small block Chevrolet base, right? But what happens if we put the crankshaft of a 400 small block and the heads off of a 400 small block? We might have a 383 stroker, right? But the key is that root is the block, which is a 350 V8 block. Does that make sense? You're manipulating that base. It's all about manipulation. Kind of like my first wife, very manipulative.
Very nice. Well, talk about teachings, right? Just teachings, like what, you have a lot of, I am a novice. I've seen it happen in front of me. I've actually was given the casings and stuffing, but I've never actually taken nothing and made it into a sausage. So you're talking to a lot of guys like myself in this group here. What would be something if they wanted to dabble? They wanted to take something home, maybe go to Academy and get a sausage grinder, whatever it may be. What is how can they get into it besides checking out your videos and stuff like that? But what will be one of the first steps to do on these things?
That's a really good
basic sausage. Yeah.
That's a really good question, man. Yes, go to Academy, go to Cabela's, go to Bass Pro Shops. You don't have to break the bank, to get some good equipment. I mean, LEM, for example, LEM makes really good equipment. LEM, I fully support those guys. They make equipment that supports the hobbyist up to the commercial guy. So LEM is a good spot. It's a good source for all manner of equipment in regard to stuffers and grinders and everything in between. And it won't break the bank. You can make an initial investment of a grinder and a stuffer through LEM, for example, relatively easy. And it won't make anybody angry in the household that you spent whatever money. But so get yourself the appropriate piece of equipment and just start delving into the hobby, knowing that you're going to be making a few mistakes. But remember this, the mistakes, and this is a life lesson, the mistakes in life always have something to teach you. But in the sausage universe, if you adhere to a basic structure of 70-30, that's a good starting point. And that doesn't mean that's the be all end all. There's some delineation and there's some movement. So, but if you start with a 70-30 ratio of protein to fat with perhaps, like a 2% ratio of salt, you can start beginning to make sausage within your own household very, very easily. It's not that crazy. And, if you jump on the LEM's website, they have a lot of good equipment and good advice on there as well, as do I. And there's some other people out in the universe in YouTube University. Have you ever noticed, like, let's just say your water heater breaks down and you look at the data plate and you look up the water heater, somebody on YouTube can tell you how to do everything to that water heater. Well, the same thing applies to wieners. So there's myself, and there's another good a channel called Two Guys and a Cooler. That guy is detailed. And then there's Brad, aka Chud, who does a great job as well. Yeah. So there's some really good resources online, not just on YouTube, but relative online as well, that kind of help you get into the hobby. And then as you go along, by the design of success versus failure, off you go.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm just not looking for them because I don't cook or make sausage, but I don't recall going into my local HEB and seeing sausage casings or just, intestines. Are they there?
They are there. So I'll tell you, they are there. So, like, for example, my hometown HEB. Now, HEBs, not that they're not all created equal, right? But the Kyle, the HEB in Kyle, which is a relative large HEB, if you go into their meat market section, there's an area where they sell like honeycomb tripe and the cachetes and all of that kind of stuff. Those tripas, the casings, are right in that area in that particular HEB. But I will also say this: I'm going to give a shout out to a really good friend of mine. May I?
Of course.
So if you're in Austin, Texas, and you're needing anything within the sausage universe, let's just say you're going to make some sausage, you need a few hanks of casings, or you need some fat, Thomas at Hudson's Meat Market is a great source, because he understands the sausage universe and he's really good people. And I'll say another one. I'll give you another one. Let's just say you're in the hill country. Let's say Fredericksburg, Kerrville, Comfort, Sisterdale. Another good friend is Tate Parker of Branded Meat Market in Harper, Texas. Tate Parker is an amazing person that has a wonderful, I don't even know where to begin with this guy. He goes from the cow calf operation through the feedlot to your plate and everything in between. Tate Parker is amazing. And Branded Meat Market in Harper, Texas is amazing. So yeah, Tate's a pretty good source too.
All right, nice. And so you just go in there and I say, I need some casings. I'm gonna dabble. And then they were like, how many feet do you need? Is it sold by the foot? I have no idea.
He'll help you out. Trust me. And if he won't help you out, well, by golly, I'm a good source. I'm an open book. Just in the course of this interview, can you not tell that I'm an open book? So,
of course, I've had a history lesson. I've had a music lesson. I've had obviously a sausage lesson just in the short time that we've been talking to you right now.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is man, look at it like this, dude. Not all of us have expiration dates. I don't know when it is. Mine may be tomorrow. Who the hell knows? But I'm smart enough to know that if I pay forward what I know in this head to the next guy and help him, that's the good thing. As an artist, and I consider myself an artist, as an artist
as well.
As an artist, if I can just inspire one person, then that's the highest compliment ever.
I love it. You are an artist and you have the title Sausage Sensei. How did this come about? Because I love the fact what you are doing with this, on your YouTube channel, you're wearing a gi, you're out there doing it. There he is right there. The Sausage Sensei, right? Sensei right there. Bill Dumas on our show tonight. Thank you, Bill, for taking the time from Montana. But yeah, you are the Sausage Sensei. Willie said that restaurants in Texas will send their people to you, or they will hire you to come in there and teach them how to do that. And I think, man, that is one of the highest accolades you could have, or at least bits of respect that they can call. They call you and say, "Hey, we need to make sausage. We're in Texas. Let's get the Sausage Sensei to come in here and let's bring him in and see what we can see what he can teach us."
It's like I said, man, you have to pay it forward. If there's something I learned from John Brotherton, is you have to pay it forward. You cannot keep this information to yourself. It has to live, And if we just hold everything to ourselves, then what good does that do? It doesn't do you any good. It has to live on. And, like I said earlier, man, I truly believe that sausage is the next big thing in the barbecue universe. I really do. And if we can help folks out there, do what they do best and help turn the screw in that direction, then game on. Oh, lost you. Lost it.
That was me. That was my bad.
Right,
you know what I like to see? You know what I like to see when I go to different meat markets is kind of what you just mentioned, being an art form, right? And seeing, they have General Tso's sausage, they have teriyaki sausage, blue cheese, and blueberry or whatever it is. There's all these different sausages in it. Yeah, you're like, Wow. Okay, that's in a sauna. What does that taste like? And so you buy, you buy a few links and see what works for you. And that is, yeah, but the traditional sausage will always be king, I feel, but they are fun to try, and I'm sure it's fun to make, and I'm sure it's fun to deconstruct. What's some of the most interesting things you've deconstructed and done? Because you're traveling all over the world. You just kind of mentioned you're making one a special all over these different parts of the world that's unique to that, that area. What's been some of the most interesting ones that you've tackled that came out great?
Well, you know what? I'm pretty proud. I'll put it to you like this: wherever I go in the world, and I've been mighty blessed than more than the good Lord should have never blessed me.
Well, I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for you. That's for sure.
But I've been blessed to travel across 5 different countries, 3 different continents doing this. But wherever I go in the world, I try to pay respect to the people and to the land for which I'm in. So that being said, the one that was very early in my career and was the chicatanas. So the chicatana y adobo sausage. So the very first time that I went down to Mexico on the invite of Luis Rivas, he was hosting the Monterrey barbecue festival in Monterrey. So, and I didn't, I wanted to pay respect to Mexico, not knowing that what I was about to make was actually more indicative towards southern Mexico, like Chiapas and Oaxaca. Okay, cool, but whatever, man. So what I did is I scored some chicatanas, which are giant leaf cutter ants. They're ants.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm, they're ants, and in the Mesoamerica,
are they that big?
They're pretty big, but that goes back to the indigenous cultures, the Maya, the Aztecs, and the other indigenous folks within.
Is that big for a wiener?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question, but these ants are they go back to pre-Spain, so they live in holes in the ground, and in the monsoon season they're flooded out of their homes. The culture is the folklore is that when you're harvesting the chicatanas, the ants, if you hold your tongue in your teeth while you're harvesting, they won't bite you. I call BS on that because these things are big. So traditionally, they're put on the plancha and they're just eaten. So what I did is I took the chicatanas and I put them on the plancha with some mantequilla and then mezcal, really good mezcal from Oaxaca, and I quote unquote woke them up, and I made a really, really, really good deep rich adobo, and I put everything together and put it in 100% beef-based sausage. And it was incredible because the chicatanas had a taste of like a pepita, but with a sour back note on the end, and the adobo kind of balanced it out. So that was a good one. So that really paid homage to the culture, southern Mexico. But more recently, when I was in Adelaide, South Australia, Adelaide, South Australia is a really big wine region. Some of the best white wines in the world are produced there. So whilst I was there, we made a really good sausage using 100% kangaroo, roux loin, not the tail, but the loin from the roux. And we only used ingredients that we got from the Aboriginal elders in the bush. So that means lemon myrtle, wattle seed, bush tomato, and native thyme, along with the white wine from the region. So it's all about paying proper respect and homage to the people, to the land, and putting that into something that is artisanal. That's just how I see it. Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
How was each region's reaction? The locals, what was their reaction to this sausage?
Well, it's funny that you mention that, and I had a really good conversation about this with a good friend in the industry. And in regard to the one with the chicatanas, it's like regional. So if you're trying to explain a chicken fried steak, for example, as we know it in Texas, to someone that lives in Bar Harbor, Massachusetts, something gets lost in translation, correct? So might not be the same thing. So in regard to Mexico, what I failed to realize at the time, in my exuberance and my anticipation and my excitement, I created something that's more akin to Oaxaca than Monterrey. So they were not as likely to eat chicatana in Monterrey as they would be in Oaxaca.
They were like, "Whoa, what are you serving us?"
Yeah, man. But in the case of there in Australia, it was well received. But the peculiar part is from what I understand, the folks down there in Australia, they don't eat a lot of roux. It's like roadkill. So I don't
really?
know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask. I didn't know that they ate kangaroo out there, but maybe they do.
They do, but it's not a huge deal. Yeah.
I bet it's tough. I've seen some of them kangaroos, bro. They're lean and mean.
Yeah, man. It was lean, and man, I tell you what, that's another thing. Well, you made me think about Australia. When we did the festival at Meat Stock, Willie T was there with me. We made the sausage out of 100%. It was A4 Wagyu. Nice. I had to add protein back to the equation in order to get things correct. So it's like, I don't know, man.
Right. Can you make a chicken fried steak sausage? That
sounded good. That does sound good. I thought about that. So you and me are on the same plane, man.
Yeah,
I like where your
you
head's
said that.
going,
I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, man.
In there.
100%, brother. I'll do it, man. Forget about it. I'll do it.
All right. That's the next video right there. That's great. Yeah, this has been very interesting, Bill. Like Jimmy Edmondson, who watches a lot of these shows, one of our supporters. This is an incredibly interesting show, and guest, you are amazing. You are. I love the fact that you said that you got to pay it forward, man, and you can't take it with you, man. You got to pay this information that you've learned, and you're still perfecting, right? I don't know if you consider yourself there yet, but
no.
It's the fact that you're experimenting, you're pushing the envelope, you're poking holes, like you mentioned, right? So it's really interesting. I want to get Ty. I know Ty's been listening the entire time, but Ty, I'm sure you got a couple questions. And Gooder Gang, you have to have some questions for Bill. He's been spitting out some amazing information, some great facts. So if y'all have questions about sausages or anything that he's done in his life, because it's pretty interesting. You're an interesting cat, my man. And I had the best time talking to you and meeting you in Austin, man. It was really a privilege. You got to meet me and my wife got to meet you, and your lovely wife.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Making sure you don't want to misspeak. But yeah, it was just a good time out there, man. For sure.
My long-suffering wife.
Your long-suffering wife. I don't know about all that. I bet you're entertaining as all get out. Just hanging around and listening to you speak. Ty, get in here, my man.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man, what's going on?
For your fellow veteran that has kind of done a lot of stuff in his lifetime already.
Yeah, I mean, I make it a point to read up on people that I know we're going to have on the show. And then so once I found out he was a Marine, we talk about on our show, on the Triple Threat Vet podcast, we tell veteran success stories, about transitioning out of the military and doing this and then transitioning out and doing that. But ultimately, it seems like you have found your peace with your family, with your lifestyle, with what your profession. I love, like, to me, you've just applied the Marine con-op. You've basically con-opted your entire life, and you're just meticulously doing it. So my question, I guess, after my introduction, I was in the Army, 1998, 2017, deployed 7 times during the Global War on Terror. And then after getting out, being introduced to barbecue has really calmed me down a lot. So if you don't mind, sir, I know you know what this means. Do me a favor, just wax poetic about some of the things that you learned in the military that have, gave you peace and applied to cooking.
Well, thank you for your service first and foremost. But to to be clear, I was in 1986 through 1990. So that means that I was in during the Cold War, the height of the Cold War, largely during Ronald Reagan's administration. So I myself have a deep admiration, and I myself have a deep respect for the combat veterans that put themselves out on the line to serve their country overseas. And that begins from the, I just, suffice it to say, I have deep respect for you guys, and that's all I can say about that. But in regard to military service, the three things with the Marine Corps principles are honor, tradition, and integrity. Right? It's esprit de corps, semper fidelis, which means always faithful. And no matter where I go, I can't get that out of me, man. What I learned in the military and respect to, now I'm a fun and crazy guy. I'm wild, I'm crazy, I'm weird, I'm wacky. But at the heart of me is that same discipline that was applied from boot camp all the way through when I was in the fleet and the Fleet Marine Force. So, and that's just, it's a discipline. And I was an NCO. I was a corporal. So that means that I had people, under my responsibility. And so it's something you just don't get out of you. And I tell you what, when I was in the restaurant life and these younger kids would come up behind me and they're not doing things like they should be doing, sometimes the corporal would come out and I could have them, quote unquote, painting rocks or cutting grass with scissors again. But you know what I mean. But the thing about it is, it's camaraderie, it's brotherhood, it's watching out. I've got your six. I've got your six always. It's honor, it's integrity, it's respect, it's always being faithful. And if you're in the military, anybody that's been in the military knows exactly what I'm talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, I remember Marine friends that I've had, and I thank you for your service, man. Like, I love how you've turned that service into, you're basically sitting around living your best life, and then your detail that you use in the meat is a very much a economy thing for me, because I'm from freaking Kentucky, where the Appalachian Trail went through. So I was raised being like, you will use every piece of that. I was right across town from the meat packers. So like what you're doing, using all the meat and then making art out of it, that's cool as hell. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to, let's be honest about something. The animal gave its life for you, right? So why wouldn't we pay proper respect and use every single part of the animal? That's how I see it. And sausage, lends itself towards that, because it is the vehicle of economy. As I mentioned before, you're not going to find a Wagyu strip loin in sausage unless you're a weirdo like me. I've done it, but it has tradition. You wouldn't. Hey man, what part of Kentucky, dude?
I'm originally from Corbin, Kentucky.
Okay, whereabouts is that from Lexington?
About 45 minutes south on I-75. So I actually went to Eastern Kentucky University. My whole family is from everywhere around there.
Man, man, there's some beautiful people up there, man. Just good salt of the earth, folks, man. And by the way, musical tradition, come on, man.
Bluegrass, yeah, hell yeah.
Sturgill Simpson, Tyler Childers, Loretta Lynn, Crystal Gale, you name it.
My man, hey, I appreciate it so far. Rob, back to you, brother.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
my brother.
That was special. Thank you for your service as well. Of course, we love Ty and what he has done for our country. You have some questions here, real quick, guys. This isn't like a traditional, barbecue guy, but he just mentioned sausage is barbecue and barbecue is sausage, and we do have some sausage categories. I do want to go over that with you as well, but share this. This has been an interesting interview tonight. This kind of it's similar, but it's also not so similar to what we do on our show. Typically, you have been an amazing guest. You've been spitting out a lot of great information, and you're just. But please, if you can, guys, do us a favor, share this. Let's get Bill's message out to the masses out here, and Bill will do the same thing. He's got a few followers of his own. My man, you're killing it. But Willie T, I said, I have to ask you about sausage dedicated to Ozzy Osbourne and the Prince of Darkness.
Oh, yeah. Who was that? Willie T?
Smokin' Willie T. Yes, sir.
Man, that's my boy right there, man. That guy makes me want to cry right now. I love that guy. You're not going to find a person with a bigger heart than Willie T. You're just not. But to answer the immediate question, it just kind of goes right back to what you feel is important to you wherever you are in life at the moment. So, and for me, Ozzy Osbourne. Okay, I asked this question earlier. Where were we, Jeff? We were out there. We were out there on the other side of Stockett, Montana, at a really good cabin out there, and it was beautiful scenery. But I asked the question to the people, what was your first major concert and what was your most favorite performance? So I asked that of many people out there, and they gave me their answers. But for me, that would have been I reckon probably in 1982 or 83, I first saw Ozzy Osbourne on a package tour with Van Halen in Dallas, Texas.
Dang.
It was awesome, and I'll never forget it. Ozzy was like coming on stage, and he was wow. It was an amazing show. But predating that, Black Sabbath. I'm a heavy metal. I like all kinds of music. There's only two kinds of music, good and bad. But heavy music for me gets my blood pumping. So Ozzy's always been an inspiration. But whenever I saw that he was struggling in his health, and they had the final concert there in Birmingham, and he couldn't get out of his throne to properly sing, and then shortly thereafter he passed, that was the inspiration for me to pay homage to the man that inspired me musically. So I made a really good sausage that was black as midnight and bold as the man himself, and it was awesome.
Nice. Okay. Is seafood sausage harder to deal with making it have good texture? That's a question from Jared Dyer, 2900 on YouTube. Thank you, Jared. Is seafood sausage harder to deal with and making it have a good texture?
Well, the answer is hell yeah, it is. you can make, suffice it to say, you can make sausage out of any protein. I'll turn you into sausage, right?
Oh shit! It's gonna be fatty. You got to add more protein.
Okay, heard. Whilst we were at Memphis in May, I'll give you an example. We were at Memphis in May, and we were part of. Who's ever heard of Mel Shimlar, Dark Side of the Grill? Yeah, crazy Canada guy.
YouTube dude, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we were brought in.
Canada? I thought he was Cali.
No, he's Calgary, Canada.
Okay, all right.
So I was brought in on his team with Danny Hernandez of the Brisket shop in Tampa, Florida. So we were responsible for the seafood entry for the team at Memphis in May. So we made a 100% fish-based sausage, with the inspiration being a proper Spanish seafood paella. So that meant that the base protein was 100% red fish, no other protein. The base protein was red fish, and then of course all the primary and secondary ingredients with the bomber rice and everything was added in. But the thing to remember, and it doesn't matter if it's fish or if it's pork or if it's human, it doesn't matter. You have to get your percentages correct in respect to protein versus fat. That all goes back to that base block that I was talking about earlier. So minimally speaking, 70-30, but that's not the silver bullet. So in respect to fish, you just have to make sure that it is not a dry fish, not something that's flaky, right? You want to have something that has some protein structure and a little bit of inherent fat to itself, perhaps a little bit of oil to it, inherent, and then plus it up with additional fat. Dare I say, and this is what we had to do. We had to plus it up to get the fat quotient correct with the inclusion of pork fat. So, albeit your primary protein is fish, you're still going to have to add the fat back to that equation.
Okay, there you go, Jared. Real quick, whoever is still sticking around, I do have a special question for Bill. We're going to talk about a sausage entry at the American Royal and what he would turn in for this deal, because I do want you to think about this, Bill. You don't have to just do in a link. You can do anything that involves sausage. So what would be something that you would think would wow a one bite judge for something to turn in? And I don't know if you answer yet, because I want to tease that, and whoever's still sticking around with us, because we're almost done. We're not gonna keep you here much longer, but we'll do that. All right, he's having fun. I like it, and you've been a wonderful guest. All right, Braden, one of our guys on the East Coast, one of our young men on the East Coast. I think he's probably a teenager still, right, Ty? I don't know. Awesome. Have you ever thought of doing a lasagna sausage or a chicken broccoli Alfredo sausage? Or how about a fair cheesecake? Ooh.
Man, I love where that thought process. Yeah, absolutely. Years ago, I made one with John Brotherton. It was a lasagna sausage. So I had every component, the pasta element, the ground beef element, and that was all in suspension. So you saw the fiddly bits, the inclusion of the visual and textural elements. So yeah, that's absolutely great. The Alfredo, yes, hell yeah, put those noodles in there. Put it all in there. Make it happen, Captain.
As well.
So
mix that in there.
You have to. No matter what it is, whatever base recipe, make darn sure that you include every single element of that base recipe. But the key is you have to manipulate the ingredients of the base recipe to make it behave correctly. But yeah, the Alfredo, I love that idea. That's a good one.
Yeah,
that one's on my list. I haven't done that one yet.
All right, Art Gonzalez, our media maestro, he puts together a lot of our wonderful scenes that you see on this show, videos and images and everything. And there's Art right there. Ever consider a sushi ingredient inspired sausage?
Do
you like sushi?
Oh, I love it. Okay, here, fun facts. My favorite type of food on God's green earth is any kind of seafood or shellfish. If it just splashes in the water, fair game. I'm talking about mermaids, manatees. I don't care. It's going on the plate. So yeah, man, 100% facts to that. Good stuff. What was the question again?
About sushi. Sushi.
I love sushi, and I was going to say omakase, but anyway, stay tuned. There's some crazy things happening in sensei world in relationship to perhaps the marriage of Japanese culture versus quote unquote barbecue culture. So
I love Japanese culture. I've been to Japan a couple times. It's beautiful over there. Ty, I don't know I think he did, but Ty, I don't know if you put his YouTube channel up in the link, but please do. It is Sausage Sensei at YouTube. Lupe Lomos, blueberry Pekin blue cheese sausage.
Well, it's funny you should mention that.
I think you did that, didn't you?
Been there, done that. We're gonna make one that's a variant. I'll say a variant here whilst I'm in Montana. My Montana folks over here. Hello. So we're going to make a Montana rhubarb and blue cheese sausage. So that should be really good. So yeah, man, 100%. And not just any kind of blue cheese. Who's ever heard of Maytag blue cheese?
Not me, but I'm interested. I love blue cheese.
I'm telling you, look that up. For those of you within the sound of my voice, look up Maytag. Yes, like the washing machine. Maytag blue cheese. It is the cat's meow.
Let me make sure I'm still, I didn't mute myself. No, I did not. All right, good. Okay. All right. To your question, Bill, in the competition barbecue world, and you've probably seen this elsewhere as well, but the American Royal is one of the it is the largest barbecue competition in the world. It is the big boy, bad boy. I'm sure you may have been there. I don't know if you have or not, but they have a sausage category, and you can win big money. You can get a big, you get on stage for this. It's a big deal, the sausage category. I've seen links posted. I've seen, fanned out, sliced of links. I've also seen meatballs that look like sausage balls that are in there, or dishes that contain sausage as part of the dish. It has to be, the majority of it has to be sausage.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
What would something like that, what would you do for something like that? It's maybe I'm putting you on the spot here, but I think you already got something in mind here. Here we go.
Yeah, I do have something in mind. I do. I don't want to reveal my hand. Remember Kenny Rogers? No. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold
Kenny Rogers, of course,
yes, walk away, know when to run. Yeah, absolutely. So I gotta take some tips from Kenny, and I want to show my hand. But I will be at the American Royal.
Oh,
I will be turning in sausage, and I do intend to win. And I have done my research on other entries, and no, mine will not be like any of theirs in past.
Well, then don't reveal what you're gonna do, but maybe throw us off a little bit. Get us close. Get us close to it. Not close to it, but
all I can tell you is it is going to be abstract. And it's gonna be abstract, and it'll make you wonder what the hell just happened. Yeah.
What would a Kansas City local cook? They say they're the barbecue. It's got to be barbecue in it or whatever. Yeah. Whatever. Kansas City.
Well,
thinking about it.
Hey man, somebody's got to be the pioneer. Somebody's got to be the tip of the spear. So go big, go bold, go. Don't approach it with any kind of fear. Make it happen.
I love it. I love it. You've been an amazing guest tonight, Bill. You've been awesome out here. We do like, especially you've been so interesting. I do a couple quick questions that are just fun out there. Just do it. Favorite guitarist?
Oh man, you put me on the spot. Are we talking about rock? What genre?
Whatever you want. Who's your favorite?
Okay,
man?
So what are we doing tonight? I think Bill's pretty tired. So
no, I have him for 5 more minutes, and then he's out of here.
All right, because it's getting kind of late.
I understand.
No, favorite guitarist, David Gilmour.
Okay.
David Gilmour, Pink Floyd, 100%, because of the landscapes that he paints with his musical progressions and his chord progressions. It would have to be David Gilmour, 100%, without doubt.
All right. You said you graduated high school in '86.
Yeah.
Favorite '70s TV show?
Oh, come and knock on our door. Take a step that is new.
Great.
Kisses are hers and his. Three's company
too. Awesome.
Yeah.
Favorite Elvis song?
We're caught in a trap. I can't hold back because I love you too much, baby. Yeah.
All right. I got 3 more and we're out of here. Do you have a favorite movie?
Oh, yeah. That would be the Scorsese film from 1972-73, Taxi Driver with De Niro.
Nice.
You talking to me? Are you talking to me?
You talking to me? You talking to me? You must be talking. All right. Last 2 here. Let's see here. Favorite dessert?
Oh, favorite dessert? That would have to be a sweet potato pie.
Nice. Very nice. And last one. What's your favorite beer, Bill?
Well, currently that would be Hams. from the land of the Godly.
You look like you're sponsored right now, bro.
Currently, it's a Ham's Cowboy. Let's liable to change. Well, it could be a Rainier later. I don't know.
Hey, I like Rainier. I'll be in Seattle this next month. Hey, Bill, thank you so much, man. I hope you enjoyed this. We totally enjoyed our visit with you. You've been amazing. You've had some really great information. I know Ty loved this. I love this. The Gooder gang that is here tonight loved it because I've had already comments and I've had some text already. You've been awesome. You've been an amazing guest. And again, if you're listening to our voice, please share this. But thank you, Bill. I would love to hook up with you again. I will see you at the Royal. I'll be at the Royal, so I will see you there.
Oh, hold on a minute, man. Are you going to be at Texas Food Championship in Corpus?
No, I will not be there. I will be at the World Food Championships in Indy.
Okay. Well, we'll hook up, brother. We'll hook up. 100%.
Of course, we
100%.
will hook up. But all right. Well, you do got to get to bed, my man. It's bedtime. I think they're ready to drink. I think bed was just a false little deal there.
I don't know.
Hey, Bill, before you get out of here, just shout out to where we can find you, where people can find you socially.
Oh, yeah, that's easy. I'm all over God's creation, Sausage Sensei. So Sausage Sensei on YouTube, Instagram, you name it. But not on MySpace. I gave that one up.
You gave it up.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, Bill, you've been amazing. Thank you so much, and we'll be in touch, my man. Thank you again for doing the show. We appreciate you.
Thank you, my brother.
Right,
it was an honor.
Bill Dumas, the sausage. Thank you, bro. Oh, man, we cut him off. Thank you, Bill. You were awesome. What an amazing interview. That was fun. That was a lot of learned information. We say on this show, shut up and listen. And this tonight really put that into perspective, exactly what we wanted to know. We had history lessons tonight. We had sausage lessons tonight. We just had a lot of good stuff. I did kind of mention that I will be at the World Food Championships, and I got hired to do hosting duties, and that's where I met Bill in Austin in June. But I'm going to be at the World Food Championships in October doing the same thing. I'll be hosting their big event. That is the biggest event that they have. That is the World Food Championships. What they actually do. We're going to be in Indianapolis, Indiana. I think that I know it's the week of the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, somewhere around there. But mid-October, I will be in Indy for the World Food Championships doing hosting duties, and I can't wait to experience that. So if anybody's out there and looking for a host for something like that, talk to me. We do that. Again, next week, we're going to be talking the Danny Dietz Memorial Classic with Jen Lee. We will do the Rate My Box next week. We will get right back to that, doing that with Eddie. Eddie is back, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, we'll have Ty. And I'll see if Art wants to come on. Why not? We'll get Art out there. Jimmy is in the house. He's still watching. Thank you, Jimmy. Hated to see what happened to your trailer, but I know you'll bounce right back, you and Teresa, like you always do. And I'm so glad you guys are safe. Again, guys, please share this show. Yeah. Oh, there it is right there. That is Jimmy's. Can we still call it a trailer? But that's what his trailer became. That's what happens. I think he had too much fat to protein. You didn't have his box right, like our Sausage Sensei had us know. But seriously, I'm glad you're okay, guys. Thank you so much. That is going to wrap up the show tonight. We'll see you next Wednesday at 8 o'clock Central. Again, I will be in Needville this week doing another cook. I love it. I haven't cooked a lot this entire year, but I'm doing some back-to-backs. So, again, it's hot out there, but it's going to open up for us. For producer Ty, for Art Gonzalez, and Eddie, who's not here, but we appreciate each and every single one of you guys watching this show tonight. We love you, and we'll be back Wednesday with another great show. That's going to wrap up the show. Case, Ty, whoever's doing it tonight, close us out.
Good night to all of you wonderful people in Barbecue Nation. You too, California.
For supporting the show. But thought I would mention one more thing before you go. I'm glad you took